I think with Becks and Guy Neville and Scholesy and that, they were going to be close to Liverpool players. After the Birmingham job I'd done, I had a period in there where a bit lost really. So I'd be in the office with Cocu and his coaches, so I'd always pick myself.
Okay, well, it's been a very busy few days for all of us involved with this show. We went and saw Kay on Sunday, but the first thing I want to know personally, you guys went to the Legends of Football Awards on Monday night. I couldn't come because I was on holiday. Kay, I'm going to ask you firstly how it was. You were Wayne's +1, weren't you?
Yeah, amazing. It was real fun. Wait, to be fair to Wayne, like, massive thank you. Took care of me. Made sure I was well looked after and stuff. So, yeah, I didn't feel out of place in any way. But I was sat on a table with Everton legends, and I think there would have been a lot of people that had paid a lot of money for that. So I realised how fortunate I was when I was there and seeing Peter Reid on the table. And he's a great guy, man. Really funny character and stuff as well. Like, enjoyed his dance moves when the music started playing. But yeah, it was great. It was so many legends, like people you watch growing up, playing football, all in the same room. Yeah, it was a surreal experience. But yeah, I think I was sat on the best table, to be fair.
Yeah, Wayne, how did you find it? Talk us through who was on that table.
Yeah, no, there was Peter Reid, Paul Bracewell, and Trevor Stevens, so obviously legends of Everton from the 80s. And yeah, no, it was a good night. I presented Guy Lineker with his award, so I had to say a few words, but Alan Shearer robbed a few of them beforehand, so I had to think fast on my feet when I went up. But no, it was a good night. Really enjoyed it.
How was his speech, Kay?
He kept on saying, I've got to do a speech. I don't know what I'm going to say. And then he went on, and I was like, these guys probably written this 3 months in advance because it was so good.
Had you written it?
No.
He had a few little jokes in there as well to begin with. I was like, oh my God, he's working the crowd.
Did you get laughs?
He did. He got a couple laughs, like big ones as well. I was like, I might get him to do a 5-minute spot before next time round.
That, of course, the night before we were at your gig, and myself and Wayne went to Nando's before with a few of the production guys, and all Wayne kept saying was that he was quite anxious for you. Wayne, he said your speech was very good. How do you rate his performance?
Yeah, no, it was really good. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. And when we went in to the theatre and you see it and it's, you know, intimate, and I was thinking, I wouldn't like to do that. But no, it was the guy who was on before you. What's his name?
Mohsin Yashalada.
Yeah, we were in Nando's and he come up to me and went, I'm meant to be on 20 minutes, I'm still waiting for my food. But then when he was good as well. So no, it was a really good evening. I really enjoyed it, yeah.
No, it was, I just hope Wayne doesn't think I'm terrible, otherwise
he laughed. I was sitting next to him, I can confirm we were both laughing. It was all good, it wasn't
be a really awkward next few weeks on the podcast. But yeah, no, it was great. It was great fun though, like seeing you guys as well. Yeah, it was great fun. I'm glad you lot came.
Yeah, it was really good. Thank you for having us. Also, fair play to Wayne for going to Nando's in Manchester. Can you imagine going into a Nando's? And they put us in the middle table in the middle of the restaurant, didn't they, Wayne, as well?
Yeah,
you saw people's faces.
It was quite busy, wasn't it? But yeah, no, obviously I go to Nando's with the kids now as well, so I'm used to it. But yeah, it was a nice day, nice night.
And as I left Wayne on Sunday night even to get in my taxi, who were you on FaceTime to, Wayne? Do you remember?
Oh, Tyson. Yeah, Tyson. Yeah.
Wayne went, is your car over there? Are you all right getting in your car? I was like, yeah, it's just over there. Don't worry. He's like, sorry, got to go. Look, and just show me his phone. And it was just Tyson Fury. Like,
yeah, he's a good guy, Tyson. Yeah.
I reckon Wayne's list of contacts is probably the best in the business, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like he's got contacts in in worlds you wouldn't even imagine. There's musicians.
Do you speak to Tyson regularly, Wayne?
Yeah, I speak to Tyson, yeah. So not all the time, but obviously now and again we speak. And no, he's a good lad, Tyson. I would like to see him get back in the ring just one more time, but I'm not sure. Okay,
let's move on because it is an international break. So there's lots of talk at the moment around England. And Steven Gerrard, a friend of yours as well, Wayne, has been speaking this week about the kind of so-called golden generation, which you were part of. He's been on Rio's pod and he said that the England squad back then were egotistical losers. Obviously, I've just pulled out 2 words from a wider context there, but he's basically said that because of your egos, perhaps that's why you didn't have the success that individually, when you looked at you and put you all together, we would have expected you to have. What did you make of those comments?
Yeah, obviously we didn't win anything, so yeah, I wouldn't quite put it that way, but I think I know what he's saying because there was a lot of big characters in the dressing room and in the team, and so to get us all in the team, obviously the main one, obviously Lampard, Scholes, and Gerrard, and you can put Michael Carrick in that as well. Obviously, very good player and didn't play as much as he probably should have for England as well. So, yeah, it was. I see his comments about going up and having like 7 hours in his room and stuff. That was tough at times because you're just lying in bed and watching TV and have food and then go to sleep. So yeah, a few players did that. I tried to keep myself busy. I'd be always in the hotel. I'd be in the massage room, the physio room, and try and keep myself busy. But yeah, I think listen, we spoke a lot over that generation of players, and when you look back with the players we had, could we have done better? I think we could have, but wasn't to be.
I guess at the time, Kay, we were like watching it as fans, and we don't understand football to the same level as these guys. But it did just feel like it was like we've got most of the best players in the world here. Like it didn't make sense, did it? Almost that we weren't having success.
It didn't. But I mean, looking back on it as well, the international sides you had during that period were very, very strong as well.
Yeah, it's true.
If you look back at certain World Cups and you look at every team, they were stacked full of good players, and England had equally just as good players, but for some reason it didn't click. But one thing that I saw in that interview that really stuck with me was when Steven Gerrard said that he's got a better relationship now with Rio than he did when they were playing, and he's got a better relationship with a lot of the players that he played with for England now. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, because why couldn't you have had that when you were playing? But obviously, I think a lot of club rivalries got in the way of that.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to have that relationship with Liverpool playing in Man United play. I think it's easier now. I think players do now, and just like I speak to Stephen all the time when we were playing, obviously both Scousers, but yeah, it was. You do have better relationships. We met up. I think he'd done that interview when we were in Korea, and I think it's better relationships now because you can go and have a beer together and and you relax a bit more rather than it just always being serious in football.
Were you aware of it at the time? Like, did you feel the pressure from the outside? And did you feel that things weren't quite right within the squad?
No, I've said this before. I didn't see that. I didn't feel that.
Did you feel it? I know you've said it with you though, but could you see it with other groups?
Yeah, so maybe I was just thinking of, I was fine with everyone. I got on with everyone and had no issues. So I was aware that obviously, I think with Becks and Guy Neville and Scholes and that, you could see they weren't going to be close to Liverpool players. But I think one thing for sure, everyone would work hard for each other and try for each other and run for each other. So I don't think that was the issue. It was more, it's Liverpool, Man United, or Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, whatever it was. And we just didn't manage to get over the line. So, but I didn't see it. I didn't see that at all.
Wayne, do you see when they say like this England team has a better sort of team attitude rather than the one that you had? Is it down to the manager? Because like when people say Gareth Southgate had a lot of influence in it, I mean, what was he doing? Was he like getting them all round to play card games or something, or is it just more down to the players themselves?
No, I wouldn't say better attitude, because I think that's disrespectful really to us as players, and if that's the case, because we worked hard, we tried, we didn't quite manage to do it, but I think what you have now, you have players, I've seen them, training before they go back to pre-season together, and Phil Foden and Rashford, for instance, and together, and I think it's a different generation really, I think, and I think the big thing is the media coverage of it is much better. The players, I think, Kelly, you see the players at England as well. They get on better with the media, and obviously that from the outside gives a better feeling.
Why do you think that is though? Why do you think they get on better with the media?
There's little things that they've done, and I know, Wayne, you've said that in like towards the end of your England career, you could kind of see it changing a little bit, couldn't you? And for example, so I've been covering England since 2021. My first tournament was the Euros that they got to the final in this country. And there was things, and Wayne, I imagine this blows your mind to think of this happening now. Like I played darts against Mason Mount at the last tournament. I played it against Jared Bowen. They've done kind of little things like that. Like I guess, Wayne, that was like out of the question your time. It felt very separate, the media and then the players.
Yeah, so even just that there alone, there was a big thing on when we were playing darts. It was actually the same, but we obviously didn't play with the media then, and it was constant. I was like, oh, what are you doing playing darts, or who's playing, who's doing this, whatever. And it become quite a big thing actually, and where obviously because the media in there, it becomes more of a relaxed, friendly story which goes out, and so it just obviously everyone wants to feel relaxed. And I think the big thing was actually giving the media the opportunity to see, what the players do during the tournament and how they do relax, and how much they care as well, because I think you can see that when players are sat around the hotel or they are playing in whatever games they've got in the games room, you can see how much they care and want to win.
You see, when you were in the camps, when you were with England, did you guys believe that you could win a World Cup or a Euros? Like, did you speak about it with each other?
Yeah, 100%. I think my first one in 2004, I remember looking, thinking the pathway for us, if we beat Portugal, was okay. And so yeah, you're looking at who you potentially could play and stuff like that. And obviously you don't want to look past the game you've got, but naturally you do that. And yeah, but we believe we could win for sure.
When you look back on it all, Wayne, do you think that the managers or anyone could have done anything differently during that period? I'm not asking you to call anyone out, but like...
Oh no, I think the obvious one was when Sven said if these 11 players are fit, they'll start. So then for the other lads, that was tough. You get lads coming in and what's the point in being here? Stuff like that. But so that was tough. But yeah, different managers do different things. Capello changed a lot of the food we had, and it took it out to your routine, and then he completely went the other way. Like for instance, we got a guy in taking all your body fat, and I think it was Matthew Upson. They tried to put on and Matthew has got no fat on him whatsoever, and he was telling me he had to lose like 4 kilos before the tournament, which is crazy. And the players obviously are on top of everything we do with our clubs, and so Capello went extreme with it, and that didn't work. But yeah, it was always fine. We had everything. The food was good. The facilities were good, and that's all we needed, really.
Another story coming out of the England camp this week. I mean, this maybe goes back to what you're saying, Wayne, about players feeling more comfortable now and kind of being more open with the media, having a better relationship. John Stones said he considered retiring last season because of injury. He only played, I think it was 11 league games last season, and he didn't make another appearance from February. It was quite shocking to hear him say that, but also quite nice. I don't know if you know him. I've interviewed him a few times, and he seems like a great lad. So good to see him back in there and back in the England squad.
Yeah, that's a surprise to hear him say that, but that's what it can do to you when you keep getting injured, and it's hard because you want to play, and you're seeing your teammates going out and training every day and playing in big games, and it can have an effect on you, and you do start thinking of different things. And I was fortunate, I never really had big injuries, but I've seen players who have injuries, and it's hard, and you're going in every day and you're in the gym and your teammates are out on the pitch, and it can be stressful.
For you, when you look back on your decision to retire, was it a slow burner? Was it something that you knew was coming for quite a while, or was there one moment where it just hit you?
Yeah, I got off the manager's job.
Was it literally as simple? Had you been thinking about it before then?
Not for manager, no. I went in at Derby as player coach, and so my whole reason of going to the States was to experience football in different way, different league, different culture, and then I got offered the player coach role at Derby, and I thought, to go into the Championship, and I'd never played in the Championship before, and see that league as well, and I was fit. I could have played on quite comfortably, and Philip Cock, who got sacked, and they offered me the job. I'd done it for a couple of games, while I was still playing, and I knew that I couldn't continue to do that. It was too much work, and so literally went from playing to managing in the same day.
Do you kind of regret losing those? Do you feel like you lost those years as a player now because you became a manager quicker than maybe you thought?
You look at it and I dropped back into midfield, and midfielders mightn't tell you, but it is a lot easier playing in midfield than it is a forward.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why? What about it's easier?
It's not as... There's more high-speed running as a forward, and you're running channels, and it's more aggressive. In midfield, it's... especially if I was playing as a number 6, so I had young legs around me who I could coach during the game and help out as well. But yeah, it's more of a box-to-box and endurance in midfield.
What's that dynamic like as a player coach? Because I imagine it's a bit weird when you're stepping into it, because 1 minute you're coaching, 1 minute you're a player. How do you do that?
You don't do much coaching because obviously you're training, and but I think it's just the start of that transition to get you into when you do stop playing. So I'd be in the office with Koku and his coaches of a morning, going through what training sessions we're doing with the team. So I'd always pick myself. You're going through the team, but then I said to the players, I said, listen, because I'm getting changed with the players in the dressing room. So I said, listen, whatever gets said in here, will not go into that coach's office.
Could you feel them change around you? Did they change around you, or was it all right?
No, because when I went in, I was player coach from the first day I went in.
Yeah.
So the first thing I said is, whatever you say in here will not go back in that dressing room, and because you have to have trust in your teammates. And I never did go in and say anything. But what it did give me is when I become manager, I knew which
you banked it all up. Yeah.
Which players I wanted to keep and which players I wanted to get rid of.
Did you think it almost made it easier that you were going into coaching and you kind of had that seamless transition? Because I guess some people just stop playing and then have to start coaching, whereas you kind of did it all in one almost.
Yeah, but then looking back as well, it's you missed then, because I went straight in with the first team. You missed development years of your coaching in terms of do you go and take an under 18 team or under 21 team, and so you miss out on that really. So it's you can look at it both ways. You get an opportunity at first team level, or you're missing out on that development part of it. So yeah, it was either way. It didn't obviously quite work out, but at Derby we actually did quite well. But if going back, I probably would have wanted to go in at a U team level first.
What would you say is the hardest part of kind of that realisation of you're not the player you once were? Like, because you were used to playing at the very top in top competitions, and it kind of it changes, doesn't it, towards the end of your career?
Did you not see that goal with DC United where he ran back? But I don't think he even noticed.
No, you realise, and I think if you're honest with yourself, you know what you can and can't do.
Well, you changed position, didn't you, as well? Like you were
but I always knew I was going to do that. I knew that would happen. But if you know what you can do and can't do, then that's a big help. Because when you see players who try and carry on at the top level and they just can't do it anymore, it's not nice to watch. I
agree.
The realisation and come to terms with it after too quick.
What are the things that when you realised you couldn't do?
Sprint is hard. And then, your recovery and stuff.
You spoke there a lot about the physical side of things, though, but the mental side of it as well. Because you can prepare your body, but how do you prepare your mind?
It's quite easy, really, in terms of that's what you've done your whole career. So you know how to prepare yourself and get ready. And I think when you know what games you've got coming up and what's in front of you, your whole... So, for instance, if we play Tuesday, Saturday, I know in the training sessions how to get through the session. When you're experienced, you know how to get through the session without wasting too much energy. So you keep that energy for the game. So your mind prepares for that. And it's not that difficult. Obviously, the physical side when you get a bit older is the more difficult one.
Yeah, I guess for me, the one thing I always wonder, Kay, I think with players, they have this incredible career playing at the top, and your whole life is governed by football. Wayne's spoken about it there, Saturday, Tuesday. When they stop, I kind of wonder, like, I think about it with my job.
The boredom would do my head in.
But if my job's just to stop, then what do you do? Like, it just mentally in that side of things as well.
The boredom would do my head in. I'd probably end up taking up golf. And you'd,
well, he has, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I've never watched a day of golf in my life. But yeah, I don't know. You'd probably be trying to pack your day full of like different things, and there's only so much paddle or whatever you could play after a while.
Yeah, no, it is. The one for me was after the Birmingham job I done, before I got Plymouth in. I had a period in there where you're a bit lost really, and you know the kids have gone to school, and you just like what you doing?
Just go to sleep.
Yeah, watching loose women in the mornings. It's like what's my life come to here? But no, and then you do, and then so you just got to try and fill your time and stay occupied.
Do you really watch Loose Women?
No, it went on. I turned it off quite quick.
Has your view of retirement changed once you stopped playing? Like, what did you think? Because I guess the whole way through as a player, you're not really thinking about retirement, are you?
No, not really. But then you are planning. So obviously, me going to America, going into the championship was planning for me going into coaching. So you do when you start getting towards your 30s, and you're doing your coaching badges and stuff. You do start planning from that point of view. But then when it does come, yeah, it is strange, and I was lucky. Obviously, I went straight into jobs and coaching jobs, so I was still around there. From that point of view, when you so now, for instance, you're not going into a dressing room, you're not part of that. So it's important that you occupy yourself and keep yourself busy.
And now he's just stuck talking to us.
Yeah.
Twice a week.
Can't get rid of you.
He's really gone. He's been stuck with us literally all week. He wants to go back into playing, I think.
What I was going to ask is, there's certain players that are doing stuff now that they're retired that are quite random in comparison to who they are. Were there any surprises of ex-players of what area they've gone into that you never thought they'd go into?
Scholesy, because he's never really done interviews, Scholesy, and so I thought I thought you would never see Scholesy again. He stopped playing. And then, yeah, maybe Roy as well, maybe. But no, I think Rio is doing exactly what we thought he would do. Everywhere he goes, he's got his cameras with him, and so yeah, no, I don't think there's. I think apart from that, everyone's pretty normal. Was
Michael Carrick always going to be a manager? Because you said he likes a party.
No, it didn't surprise me. But yeah, I think vice versa, I think people would probably look at me as well and say that. So when you get towards the end of the career, you don't know what way it's going to take you, what pathway, what journey you're going to be on, and so you get opportunities and you're going to try and take them. Tom Cleverley's doing well at Watford, gone to Plymouth. So I think when you've got younger teammates, you never looking at them thinking, they're going to management. So that's the older ones probably looking at me like that, and that's where I'm looking at Tom Cleverley. And but you get opportunities, and you've got to take them if you want them.
It's like Kieran Richardson, isn't it? He sells watches and stuff now, isn't it? So that was a bit of a pivot.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him for years, Kieran.
How do you know that? That's such a niche thing to know.
Oh, he had a YouTube channel about it a while back, and it was like reviewing watches and stuff.
You watched that, did you?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I was like, I wonder if I could get a Richard Mille, and then the answer was pretty astoundingly no.
I think this is all quite interesting. Talking about this discussion to retire, it feels topical in terms of like player welfare, Wayne, because there's been a lot of conversation, hasn't there, about the fixture calendar. I saw Thierry Henry and Michael Richards speaking about it last week. Jurgen Klopp also kind of voiced his concerns over the Club World Cup and player burnout, because obviously I think that's brought it back into focus, hasn't it, with Chelsea winning that and the short pre-season that they had. Do you think that players are kind of at risk? Do you think that there needs to be something looked at to kind of help manage their workload a little bit more?
I think the Club World Cup, I think for me that's just ridiculous from my point of view. You have all these clubs and in UEFA, in FIFA, whatever, talking about the Super League and all that. And that's basically what they've done. Like you've got a Club World Cup and the Premier League champions aren't even in them. Doesn't make sense. And so but then I think throughout the season, just get on with the game and play, and it's not that many games more, and there is more rotation now as well, and the squads are bigger. They've got everything they need to recover. I think just get on with it and play, and if you win as well, you don't feel tired. With obviously tournaments and international games, we used to get 3 weeks really, and then some obviously
that doesn't sound much.
Yeah, it's your body's just winding down, and then you've got to get going again. But then obviously I've had 6 weeks off, and it's too long. You want to get back into it, and so I think 4 or 5 weeks is a good amount of time really to have off, to have your holidays and your body to recoup itself and get ready to go again.
I sound like the actual mental health kind of monitor on this podcast, but just got asked you before about mentally, but that's what I always think. Like when I go on holiday, I'm on holiday now and it's raining and it's horrible, and I'm finding myself on my laptop and doing things that I don't want to be doing, but you go away to kind of mentally check out. Do players not need to?
Yeah, and that's why we used to get a bit of stick really when we go after the tournament, if we get knocked out, and the next day if you're on a flight to Vegas or to Ibiza or whatever, because your days go and then you're back in you're back in training, so you've got to try and when we get knocked out of a tournament, you're devastated, but you've got to then try and get you rested and to get away, and firstly you want to get away from everything. If you've been knocked out of the tournament, you do want to try and get away from everything, and secondly you haven't got that much time off, so you do try and get away as quick as you can. And we used to get sick obviously because, and I understand it, people will be like, oh, we got knocked out of a tournament yesterday, but he's alright, he's on the way to Vegas. So I get it, but you do need to try and get away quite quickly. I don't know if I would have coped with how it was this year in terms of the Club World Cup and then the time the lads had off, and then straight into Premier League time. I certainly would have pulled that up with the manager and said I wouldn't want to play now.
Do you know one thing that would have excited me about retirement or the season ending if I was a player? It would have been all the food I could have had.
Yeah, but can you do that when you've only got 3 weeks off, Kay?
Yeah, come on. You could pack a lot into... what?
What did you used to do with your holidays, Wayne? Would you just go on holiday and do what Kay said and eat everything? Like, surely you can't really.
I've always ate quite well. It was more the alcohol when I was off. So it's food-wise, I've always ate quite well, and but you need that blowout as well. I think that's important, and I think that the culture has changed even from when we were playing. You go away and you was eating and drinking when you was off, and where I think now the players go away and they're taking personal trainers with them.
I was going to say, did you ever do that? Like, you see them out in Dubai, don't you? And like they put all the photos on their Instagram. They're taking the photographer too, to show them training abroad. Did you guys do that?
No.
I kind of knew the answer to that.
Yeah, but it's only an hour a day as well. I always. But
you got to take the photographer to get it for Instagram.
Yeah, I know, but I find those Instagram posts funny. Yeah.
Just keep changing the top.
Yeah, you could do that 1 hour, just bang out a bunch of videos and go, look how hard I've been working.
Yeah, but I don't get that, because a game where you're talking about players complaining too many games and managers complaining too many games, and so this is your opportunity to rest. So take your rest. Your body needs it needs to recover and get itself ready to start up again. If you don't have that period of rest, your body's just constantly going, and you probably will never get to the peak level.
Except if you're on holiday in Dubai and Wayne Rooney wants to meet with you at the top of the log flume about signing for another club, don't mentally switch off then.
No, but I think physically though you do need to switch off.
Yeah, I want to go back to Kay's question there, because Kay, we could have had a good conversation about eating and stuff. if you probably in this day and age, you can't really kind of stop. Players don't tend to stop in the summer and kind of completely wind down and act like normal people, if you like. But what have you enjoyed most about retirement and being able to kind of not have that responsibility to kind of your body and your mind as a footballer?
When you're playing, you're constantly thinking about the games and the players you're playing against, and so you're never switched off when you're playing. You unless you're on holiday, whatever. But you're constantly thinking about the game. You're thinking about who's challenging you for the title, if you're going for the title, and how they're doing, and it's constant. Where when you stop playing, that goes, and you're looking more like as a fan now, and so you haven't got that pressure on you, but it's just different. You can relax a bit more.
Yeah, what would be the thing you would think you would enjoy most about retirement, Kay? I think I'd just enjoy the freedom. It just feels like you'd be a lot more free.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends what level you were playing at, right? But if you're a top player, I think the lack of media interest in you as well might be...
I'm sorry, but Wayne still has that.
No, I know Wayne does, innit? But Wayne's a top player. If I'm talking, I'd have probably been like mid-table League 2 or something. So I think part of that, and also like I was saying, not being so regimented with what you're doing and stuff.
Can that be tough though, Wayne? Like not having, because you had your whole life structured by football.
Yeah, your whole life is it's a routine, and you know that's really put on for you. Everything is there for you. Your food, and you know it's quite easy to manage that. So when you do stop playing and you lose that routine structure, then that can be tough.
Did you pick up any weird hobbies?
When
you retired?
When I retired.
Just golf for you to count that as weird, wouldn't you, Kay?
No, but I mean, like, as in, because there's some things that, like, you must have found yourself doing something. Go, what am I doing here?
No, I played a bit of snooker and golf for times, and not really. It's stuff I could do when I was playing, to be honest.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Probably need to ask Colleen this, but do you help around the house more? Don't laugh. Serious question.
He does the school run every morning. Like, come on.
No, I don't.
But he couldn't have done that. Probably. He also probably couldn't have done that during his playing days.
It depends where the school was.
Yeah.
Where the kids' schools are now, I probably could actually on the way to school. But it's you are around the house, and you do tend to watch a little bit more stuff on the TV as well, and I really enjoy watching like series and stuff. So,
to be fair, he was driving Tevez to the training ground some days. That's worse than the school run. Trying to get Carlos Tevez in a car.
That was a challenge, to be fair.
What do you do? The other thing I always wonder is, what do you do with your competitive instincts? Because you were really competitive, weren't you? And like a born winner. How do you replace that part of your life?
I don't know. I think I've chilled out more now. And like when I used to go and play golf, you might be on the next fairway and you see a 5-iron come flying past your head. Because I used to, it's a bad shot and I'd launch it, or I'd smash it up against the tree and stuff. Where now I don't take it too serious, and I know I'm going to have bad shots, and just going to enjoy it. So yeah.
But do you think that's because you've won so much in your career that you sort of like scratch that itch?
No, because I think I'm just realistic, and no, I'm not really that good at golf, so I don't take it serious enough. I think Andy Murray's gone into trying to get his car diseased, and he looks like a really good golfer. So if I was playing to that level, then you would get more frustrated and angry and stuff. But I'd go and play golf, have a beer after, and relax.
Guys, last week when we were on the show and Wayne had housekeeping come, I've got housekeeping at the door.
Did they?
Yeah, hold on. Hold on. It's the second time they've tried to come. Hold on.
Look, do not disturb.
Sorry, I forgot to put the do not disturb thing. Sorry, could you come back later, please? Yeah, sorry.
Just reuse the towel. It's fine. You don't need a new towel.
But are you, Kelly, in your house?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm in a very rainy hotel room in Turkey. Should we just end the pod? I can't remember what I was going to ask. Any more questions, Kay, about Wayne's life post-retirement?
I think he's covered most of them, to be honest with you.
The producer suggested asking, are you happy post-retirement? I feel like that might be quite a deep question. Do you miss it, Wayne? Are you happy?
Yeah, and some days you're obviously the good days and bad days, and that's just life. That's a life as a dad, a husband, and normal day life. So yeah, I'm very happy.
The housekeeper have come back in. Let's go. We're taking, on that note, we're taking a break on Monday. We'll return next Friday with another episode of The Wayne Rooney Show. As always, you can watch us on BBC Sport YouTube and iPlayer or listen on BBC Sounds. I'm off to speak to housekeeping.